Just please forgive me for the song upload about this glitching steam locomotives. Everything's been so hard for me ever since throughout school's back in session, and I'll be gone for longer than ever. But now this thing, anyway, I can still continue this list. However, if you want to help me, you know where to get me. Coming in number 5, we have the Norfolk Western K-Class Mountains. I was not thinking of adding this steam engine, but I decided to add it because it has something in common with the NWJ. But I'll be telling you the Norfolk Western K-Class Mountains backstory. Sorry about that mini talking in the video. Anyways, the NWK class steam engines were built between 1916 and 1926, with the first batch of the K1s being built in 1916, the second batch of the K1s and the K3s being built by the NW, the K2s being built by Alco, and the K2As being built by Baldwin. But after the production of the K-class ended in 1926, the K1s and 2s were mostly used on passenger service on the NW, and the K3s were used on freight service as the diameter was small, making the speed a little bit slow, however, the strongest. Do you guys remember when I said the NW Mountains and the J-class Northerns have something in common? Well, during the years on the NW, the K2s and K2As were fitted with this very same streamlining as the J-class. The only difference is having one less train truck. Imagine what if 611 could react to this. Here's a reenactment, and only a reenactment. This is nothing gonna happen in IRL.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah.
It's just a reenactment. Don't take this thing too seriously. Now, beginning in the 1950s, dieselization had started on the NW, and by the end, all the mountains were scrapped. Not even a single streamline or a regular K-class 42 mountain survived. However, today, like streamlining on the mountains still carry on to this day. The 611, a J-class 44 Northern, is preserved today and now in operation, now running excursions. Coming in number 4, we have the Manila Railroad Class 200. The Philippines, one of the first countries I ever visited. This country is located in Southeast Asia. It was most known for anything, but it wasn't most known for its railways. Let's go back to the year 1920s, where at the time the Philippines was a colonized country by the United States of America. The Manila Railway 200 class were built between 1921 and 1922 by the American Locomotive Company or ALCO in Brooks Plant and shipped it from USA to the Philippines, as they are classified as the 200 class 210 Santa Fe types. These were the largest and heaviest steam engines that entered Philippine service. Well, a 4-axle tender at 200 class was 80 feet long and weighed 343,500 pounds. Each was 50% heavier and twice longer than the 260 plus 062 Kitson-Mayer locomotive it replaced, despite being its flagship class. The 200 was still one of the smallest tender locomotives of this rearrangement. Santa Fe and other national railroads, such as the USA Light Santa Fe, easily weigh about 100 metric tons. Without a tender, and whether not fit on turntable was built by the Manila Railroad. These 210 Santa Fe types were mostly used in freight service in the Philippines and during World War II, where at the time, the Japanese Empire took control of the Philippines. However, during the war, 2 of the 200 class would be involved in a head-on collision, and they would be abandoned and scrapped in 1946. Which at the time, it was the year where the Philippines gained independence from the USA in July 4th, 1946. I'll come back to that Independence Day later. Right after World War II and the independence day of the Philippines, the 200 class still served the country by 1952 and was retired in favor of diesel power, and 4 steam engines survived. It was surprisingly, they're still being used in service well into the 1960s. That is until Unit 205 was stored in San Fernando Rail Yard. And 2 decades later, 205 was scrapped, making the 200 class being officially extinct. Now for the date of the Philippines Independence Day. Most Filipinos and Americans will be pointing out that Philippines gained their independence on June 12, 1946. But according to Safari, which I searched up, it got its independence on July 4th, 1946, which is the exact same day where America got its independence day from Great Britain. However, if I scroll down, you might see the question, why did the Philippines have to Independence Day? This is what it stated. It stated that the one celebrated June 12 recognizes the day that the island broke free from the Spanish rule, which means it used to be part of the Spanish Empire. That's until America decided to free Philippines. But instead of that, they decided to occupy the Philippines, which caused a war called the Philippines-American War. Lasted for 3 years, from 1899 through 1902, with the Treaty of Paris ending the war. And so the Philippines became an American colony for almost 5 decades, until July 4th, 1946, where they got their Independence Day again from America. But Filipinos still recognize June 12th as the rightful day of independence. And today, the Philippines and the United States has been officially allies, and they've been historically strong. But I get off track over here. Let me talk about my next extinct steam locomotive class. But I hope you learned something. At number 3, we get the New York Central 464 Hudsons. You should have seen this coming. These Hudsons were built between 1927 and 1930, with a staggering total of 275 were built, and they were named the Hudson, named after the Hudson River. These Hudsons were famously known for pulling New York Central's crack passenger trains, the 20th Century Limited and the Empire State Express, with some of the Hudsons even being streamlined. But one standout to me was 5344, the Commodore Vanderbilt. However, on September 7, 1943, 464 Hudson 5450 was suffered an accident during the Second World War. Her boiler exploded during the route, killing 3 of her crew. However, the NYC couldn't repair her and has to be put out of service due to steel shortage. Right after the Second World War, all the Hudsons would be retired in favor of diesel power, and all of them was scrapped altogether. However, 2 J1D Hudsons, 5311 and 5313, they were both sold to the Toronto, Hamilton, and Buffalo Railway, and renumbered as 501 and 502 in 1948. As 5311 and 5313 were both retired, 502, which is 5313's tender, was saved from the scrapper's torch and was now preserved at the Steamtown National Historic Site, now converted as a steam generator car.